Hello! Miscellaneous gadget reviews. My favourite, because you never know what's coming next. Well, I do, obviously, because I've got the devices here that I'm about to parade in front of a video camera. And you do as well, so you've probably read the title of the video. There's no secrets these days. I blame Facebook. Anyway, have a look at this. It's from the people called Bosch who make tools and things, and it's called the Ixo Vino. Basically, you know how bottles that have wine in also have something stuck in the bottle to stop the wine falling out? And often that's a cork, and if you want to remove the cork you have to get a bit of twisted metal and ram it in and screw it around with your hand like some sort of crazy barbarian from 3 AD. Well, those days have passed. Because now we've got this, which is a cordless screwdriver with an attachment for removing the corks from bottles. Simples. Now, I don't know if a previous device has ever existed. Has there ever been a specific device for removing corks from bottles electrically? Can't think of any, and I can't really think of a use for them. Who would uncork that many bottles of wine that they would need a specified device for it? You'd have to be a pretty hefty drunk, and by that time you'd probably be too dangerous with the device to actually do anything handy with it. I don't know. Anyway, it's probably a better idea to give it as an attachment to a cordless screwdriver, which you can then use for the removal and indeed replacing of screws, and maybe even putting new screws in. Who knows? It's a crazy world out there. Right, let's have a look at the box then. It comes in a wooden box. I like wooden boxes. It's got a point already. Powered by lithium-ion technology. Yes, no crappy NiCad batteries that clonk out in 5 seconds. This one, well, actually I've got no idea how long it lasts, to be brutally honest with you. It came charged and I've used it a bit and it hasn't gone flat yet, so that's probably a good thing. Also, this is a designer's edition. Why yes, for if indeed you are middle class enough to not only own a electric screwdriver but also an attachment for removing corks from wine bottles, then you know, you probably want a designer one as well. Also, if you cut yourself, you'll bleed pasta. Right, by Alexandra and Dasha Gantseva. Fantastic. There's a black one with crappy drawings of wine glasses on. Wow. Must have took them ages to come up with that. Glad to see all those hours at design school and art school weren't wasted. Then there's one, I think that's Twigs and Leaves, is it? I honestly couldn't tell you. Looks like a bleeding spider has danced all over it. And then just the names of different wines scrawled on it. Yep, can't help feeling that the Gantsevas there kind of phoned this one in, and if I was Mr. Bosch, I would be most displeased. Also, it's a ridiculous concept anyway, because that's a very utilitarian-looking device, and no matter how designer the thing is you stick on the end, it's still going to look like a tool, for that is what it physically is. Right, I'm not going to bother going through the box for the simple reason that there won't be any amusing misspellings, because it's actually a real product for once. Who would have thought such a thing? Right, cardboard's off. Oh, no, that's good. Easily markable cheap wood. But I do like wooden boxes. And it's even got a metal latch, look. Designer's edition by those two people. Yes, well, probably not those two people, but by their tea boy, judging by it. Oh good, I've got the white one. The ugliest one out of the whole lot. Well, that's marvellous. So here's actually the device then. Well, the attachment as opposed to the device. Oh, I can't get it open. Come on. Ooh, a red spot has come out. I think that means some pirates want me dead. Anyway, what's this? That'll be the corkscrew then. And that'll be the thing that stops it kind of just spinning into infinity. Fair enough, we'll come back to that when we try it later. Far more importantly is this bit of cardboard. Oh, look! You could make a hat out of it. Or maybe not. In here are all the various attachments. You've got a few different sizes of screwdriver there, and also some bits for sort of Allen keys and weird star screws that seem to be turning up in products these days for some reason. Must admit I haven't used the charger, haven't needed to charge it yet, so we'll move all this to one side. And look at the device itself. I love the look of it. It looks like a phaser from Star Trek. Eat death, Klingon fiend. Something else I quite like. If you've got it forwards or backwards, it has a different LED. Also, presumably, that one in the middle flashes red. and implies that you have to fill it up from a petrol pump, which I think they're using as more of a universal symbol for refilling. Either that or they're completely insane and want you to make your hand catch fire. It's possible. Well, yeah, I'll give it a quick review as it is as a screwdriver. I've used it a bit and it's very, very good. It's by far the best electric screwdriver I've ever used. But on the other hand, I've only ever used about 2 before, and they were ridiculously cheap things, so I may be damning it with faint praise there. Basically, this would actually put screws in and out of bits of wood. The others I tried in the past wouldn't. I've got no use for one of these myself directly because I just use my drill. My drill has bits for doing up screws and that, and it's really good doing a drill because you can forget to turn the power down and accidentally split all the wood by pushing in the screw too hard, so I can see a use for these sort of things in general. My only complaint on this is it's got a really fantastic rubberised ergonomic grip and that, but it's bloody uncomfortable for me. This bit sort of sticks in your hand, and this bit around here sticks in the top of my hand. It feels not good. Don't really understand that. Maybe I've just got very large hands. I don't know. I haven't got anybody else's hands here to check with, because people get annoyed if you take their hands to use later in video reviews. Anyway, time for the money shot. Dun dun dun. Ooh, I'm looking forward to this. Right. We'll have to push it in first, I presume. I'm refusing to read the instructions because that's not as amusing. Right, let's try and open some wine then. Here we go. We've got some Tesco Value, which is of course the finest wine available. Let's give it a shot. Nope, nothing happening yet. But that's absolutely useless. Look, the top hasn't come off at all. What an embarrassment. I mean, did they not pick this up in the... Oh, hang on. Apparently you've got to use a bottle. Let's try that again. Here we are with some nice San Lorenzo Rioja. Right. In it goes. Oh yeah, that's gone in fine. Can we now pull the cork out? Go on. Go on. Go on. Oh yes. And, oh, look at that. And that was at least, I would have said, only 75% of the effort of actually taking it out by hand yourself. But look, it's done the job tremendously. It's removed the cork. And I think I stuck it in at a bad angle, so it's done quite a good job, actually. Well done, little Bosch. Now I can get drunk on cheap liquid filth. That's probably... Actually, I wonder what that Tesco stuff is actually like. I just got it as a comedy prop, but it doesn't look good. Spanish red wine, Vino Tinto, an uncomplicated, soft, fruity red with delicious strawberry flavours. Oh my god. I refuse to believe that anything with Tesco Value that comes in a cardboard container is in any way uncomplicated, soft, fruity, or even fucking red, to be honest with you. Let's try a drop. Should I have shaken it first? No idea. Let's put that down there where it won't dribble. And, oh god, it's terrible. As predicted. Yeah, that's not good. That is a cross between ink and vinegar. In fact, I think they have just mixed ink and vinegar and then watered it down. That was pretty bad. Let's have some of the San Lorenzo there, as we take the taste away. This is my favourite review ever already. I get to have booze. Oh my god, that's like 50 times better. In fact, no, I would say it's 103 times better. Ah, infinitely better. And here's the weird thing. The real bottle of wine there wasn't actually much more expensive than that cardboard crap. Absolutely terrifying. Anyway, we now have to talk about the Bosch thing again. Here it is. Star Trek, yes. No, yeah, it's a really good screwdriver with an amusing attachment you can use to look like James Bond at Christmas dinner. What more could you ask for? The RRP on it, the recommended retail price, is ridiculous. Something like £60, I've seen it written. But when I went into Homebase, which is of course the most expensive shop in the world, they were selling them for 30 and saying they were half price. And in fact, I think if you shop around, you'll probably be able to get them somewhere around the £25 mark, which isn't bad for a decent bit of kit if you want a cordless screwdriver. Basically, Yeah, we're all thinking it. Gift for Dad. So, gadget the second. Let's think about video games, specifically those available on smartphones and iPods and that. Visual aid. Yes, the problem with games on these devices are, of course, they have to be based on tapping the screen or swiping the screen, and that's pretty much it, really, because there are no other controls available, unless you want to get into the realms of the virtual D-pad. Zero tactile feedback, where the mind of man should never have to wander. Well, to be fair, I suppose these virtual joysticks and things are much better than they were when they first came out in the early days of the iPhone, but they're still bloody awful at best. But never fear, for a band of rebel engineers have created the iControlpad. Do you really? Yes, iControlpad. It's a control pad that will connect via the magic of Bluetooth to pretty much any smartphone device. Hopefully this one, because that's the one I'll be demonstrating it with. What you do is you hold it in your hands and it has real controls. Not getting too technical for you there, am I? It's got D-pad, analog nubbins, buttons, and look, 2 horrible shoulder buttons at the back that you just can't press comfortably. But don't worry, because no game seems to use those. And you may, if you are an eagle-eyed viewer, have eyes like an eagle, which is weird. But also, you may notice that this is suspiciously similar to the Open Pandora in design. And yes, it's from the same people, and literally has the same controls, so you know you're getting a good D-pad and analog nubs there, which is nice. And there's also another little thing it does. You can peel off these rubber bits at the side, and, oh yes, knock that down. Stick your phone in, and put the other end on. That's quite important if you don't want it falling out. And lock. And we are now, look! It's like some crazy handheld from a shared future or possibly a fractured past. Yeah. Does the job? What more do you want? Quite a lot of phones fit in this thing apparently, but also they've now got some kind of universal holder that holds a lot more devices. Now the question is, of course, what games actually support this thing? That's where things get a little bit less funky. Android, there's various emulators and things which will support it, which is nice. iPhone-wise, you've got about 35 apps. The good news is it does include really good stuff like all the Llamasoft games and Edgar Vigdal's superb Warblade, which is a modernisation of the deluxe Gallagher game for the Amiga and is massively thumbs up. But yeah, 35 out of the 47 quadrillion super billion apps available on the iOS format is a bit weak. But there we go, it's got to be specially formatted and programmed in and all those kind of things that most app makers haven't done, which is a shame. But anyway, let's see it working. This is how it works. First of all, you'll need to turn your phone on. And then, well, I'm actually not going to use one of the official apps. Woohoo, I'm naughty. For this is a jailbroken phone, and I'm going to be running a PCE emulator, that being a PC Engine, of course. Tap the button, and away we go, look. But first, scan for Wiimotes. Yes, this emulator will enable you to use Wiimotes, which is quite amazing. But also this, which is obviously a lot nicer because it holds the phone in it, so you don't have to prop this up near your eyes like some sort of freakish contraption. Hold down Start, and after a while, it starts a flashing. Scan for the ICP. Make sure you press 1 and 2 on each Wiimote. This isn't a Wiimote. Something's happening. No device is found. Ugh, jump cut. Yes, it had to scan for it twice before it found it for some reason. I've never done that before, but it works now, so I'm not moaning. Right, load game, please. Let's have a game of... Where's something relatively simple? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I don't know. Soldier Blade, that'll do us. The mighty PC Engine. That's something I've only ever played through emulation. Continue, go on then. Do this thing. Here we go. And we're off! Well, no, we're not yet, because we have to do all this, don't we? I'd forgotten. Operation 1. You're the doctor. Go! And yes, all the controls work beautifully. Slightly painful from this angle, because I'm having to lean around a camcorder, but if I wasn't, I'd probably be having more fun. Bang! Shooty! I'm sure you know how these sorts of games go. Oh, I've hit a blue thing and exploded. That'll do for that then. Hang on, I shall turn that off or it'll make funny noises at us. Yes, that be the iControlpad, and damn nicely it works too. It's very comfortable, the controls are very good. What more do you want really? Oh yeah, a lot more app support, but unfortunately that can only be done by the app makers. But as it stands, it's a nice bit of kit, and also the battery seems to last twice as long as the sun. Seriously, as with the Open Pandora, there's like a massive battery in it which seems to last almost forever. And handily can also be used to charge your phone on the go, which is quite a nice little backup option. But if you should be wanting to go for one of these, strongly recommend jailbroking your phone or just having an Android one. Third gadget. Well, technically this one isn't a gadget, but I don't care because it's funny. It's time for another cheap Meccano set. I reviewed one of these recently on my extra channel. If you haven't seen that, actually go and watch it now. Look, there's an annotation up there that'll take you to it. I'll still be here when you get back. I'm a recording. You back yet? Good. Time to look at Super Intellect Racing. High quality. Yeah. Oh, just feel the quality. Super Intellect Racing. Well, that makes no sense whatsoever. What is it? Stephen Hawking versus Albert Einstein? I've got no idea. And also, of course, it's got nothing to do with racing. They're all construction vehicles. Oh, well, that's fairly amusing, thanks to our good new friends at Shinlong 2X. But it's the taglines that really made this for me. Band your eyes on the funny toys! Rarely has a phrase in the English language been of such beauty. If ever I have to have a tagline for this channel, it will be, band your eyes on the funny toys. And of course this is a very good play game, as, you know, we suspected. My absolute favourite part, at the bottom here, specifications, colours and contents may vary from illustrations. Therefore meaning this box has no meaning. It could be anything inside here. We could be advertising Super Intellect Racing Meccano diggers, and in fact you open it up and it's just full of dog poo. Oh well, what's on the back then? Apparently we're getting this one, which is a digger thing. Builds manifolds, different models. It builds different models of manifolds. How exciting. Not suitable for children under 36 months due to small size of components. Wow, that was in proper English. I'm almost disappointed. There's nothing else really on there. Well, there's a tick by C, yeah, which does imply we're getting the digger. Yeah, which is the one in the back. Well, I hope it's not full of dog poo anyway. Let's see what's in it. And if it's anything like the other one I reviewed, there'll be no instructions. So that's something to look forward to. Oh! Wow, real metal construction toys. Here we are, a bag of shrapnel that's surprisingly heavy with a crap screwdriver. Some things that will probably become wheels for the tracks at some point. Here are the tracks, which aren't anywhere near rubbery enough really, and will probably not stretch properly. Here's some miscellaneous pieces, and let's knock all those out. Oh dear, all the screws and fixings. Oh, there's hundreds of them, man. What have I got myself into? And yes, virtually no instructions. There's just a list of parts and a very loose guide as to where a couple of screws go, and not how it all fits together at all, meaning this is more of a demonic puzzle than a construction toy. Can I be bothered to put this bloody thing together? Well, I've got to try now, haven't I? Right. If nobody's heard from me in 3 weeks, call the police. An hour and 8 minutes that took me to build. An hour and 8 minutes of my life that I will never see again. I'm 35 next month. I can't keep wasting my life like this. I could have watched a film or something. Oh my goodness, what an absolute pile of toot. Well, the little screws fitted in the little nuts all right, and that's about as far as it went. The whole thing is massively flawed otherwise. The measurements they used to make it are off, and look, the wheels can't go far enough apart, and therefore all the middle has buckled and gone horrible. And everything's a bit low. That's gone loose. Look, it's supposed to be the digger part, and I didn't know how the middle's supposed to go because the instructions don't mention, and there were no reference photos on the box that I could use for the insides. What an absolute pile of toot. That is an awfully long time spent making something that didn't go together properly. On the plus side, it did only cost £3, so that was probably worth it for the amusing text on the box. Where is the text on the box? I need something to cheer me up after that. Band your eyes on the funny toys. Very good play game. No, it's no good. I've wasted so much time on that I will never feel joy again. Tiny woolen hats. Yes. This is a quick charity heads up for something called The Big Knit, which is a fundraising scheme from Innocent Smoothies in favour of Age UK. Basically, they donate 25 pence from every bottle you buy that has a hat on, and then give an extra 10 pence for every amusing hat-related photo uploaded to their Facebook page. The link is in the info box below. Am I only mentioning this so I can show you this photo I took? It's a possibility. If you haven't got any tiny smoothie hats, then don't despair. The first 25 people to email the address in this annotation and mention the code phrase, "I would like a tiny woolen hat," will be sent a tiny woolen hat. Offer only available to UK residents.